G'day guys, it's Andrew, back again for another Friday night beer review. This week I'm going to be doing an old favourite of mine. It's Modus Operandi's Sonic Prayer. Get that in. So these are now coming in the 375ml. They used to be a 500ml can, which just makes the 4-pack a little bit more affordable than the 500ml were. But it's a great beer. It's one of my favourites. The first thing that got me into it was seeing the ad for it, which is just really cool, really psychedelic and fun. If you haven't seen it, I do recommend you give it a little YouTube and have a look. It's really cool. You wouldn't think that they're advertising a beer, but it's really cool. So the little slogan for this is mind-altering amounts of New World hops, a psychedelic reverberation of flavors. And I have to tell you, the first time I had this, it absolutely blew me away. Like how much hops they could put into one beer, how much just, I don't know, the resin, was coming through on the tongue, and just the mouth smack that you got from the amount of hops and the smell. So hopefully, it has been a little while since I've had it. Hopefully it's just as good as I remember. So I don't know what else to say about it. These guys are from Monavale, north of Sydney. This drink is 6%, 1.8 standard drinks in 375. There's not much else on the can. Cold stored, 100% green energy, which is really cool. We always love people who are environmentally minded in our household, so it's also a big tick, but the main thing for me is that it's a stunning beer. So let's give it a crack. A good crack, and don't have an explosion. Got the Husky brewing glass again, nice and tall. Probably not the best glass for this, to be honest, but I haven't actually got a snifter. So that's something I'm on my list to get, something that will really capture the aromas of a nice hoppy beer. But we go with this because it's just going to look cool in the tall. Give that a little whack. Nice fluffy head. I'm probably gonna, there we go, let's empty that. So I can tell you already I'm getting the aromas from here. So nice and clear colour. Kind of in between pale and amber. So you can see it just has a little bit of crystal malt in there, which is good. I'm sure that's going to balance out the bitterness that all those hops are going to lend to it. So I did have a look. Apparently it's got a lot of American and Kiwi hops. So those New World hops they're talking about. So I couldn't find actual specifics on the hops, but I dare say you'd probably find some of your favourites in there. Things that high IBUs and really aromatic, things like Amarillo and of that nature. Amarillo is one of my favourite hops. So, alright, so on the nose, I'm getting citrus, the malt sort of sweetness. I don't know if I say sweetness, it's not really an aroma. Sweetness is a flavour, or not even a flavour rather, it's a sense. But it does have that. Just a lot of citrus I'm getting through. Not really getting a lot of spice or dank in the nose. For mine, it seems to be dominated by that citrus. So, cheers. for our third beer. It's still good. Not quite as good as I remember, but I did actually see that I think this was packaged towards the end of last year. And being July now, it's probably sat a bit longer than you would really want to leave an IPA. So it's not as knock you in the face as I remember, but that would definitely be the reason why. Having sat for I think it's 9 months, which is well past the optimum sort of tasting for this beer. Fresh is best when it comes to IPAs. Your aromas and things are always going to sort of fall away as the beer ages. It's still perfectly fine to drink, but just you're not going to experience it at its best. So that's a little bit disappointing, but it's still really, really nice. And in the flavour, I just got a nice strong bitterness. Its citrus is there, and it's really rounded out by a malt, the malt backbone. But it is just that little bit lacking from what I remember. Honestly, I was building it up, and it was from what I remember, and it was like mouth smack you on the head, instant sort of high, I guess, from the amount of hops and just the resin that was mouth coating. I'm not really getting that. Of course, it was fairly early on in my craft beer journey, so maybe I just wasn't as used to IPAs. Maybe I've dulled some of those taste buds and whacked them around a bit. I know all of my family say that for chili that I've ruined my taste buds just because I keep on upping the ante and nothing's hot anymore. I just keep on adding and adding. Anyway, I digress. I'm meant to be talking about beer. So again, the citrus is the main thing. I don't get any dank really, or pine, or berry or anything like that you might look if there were, or a lot of melons. It's more like a lime, maybe a grapefruit. Maybe kiwi even a little bit, but those sort of zesty aromas and tastes are the things that are coming through. I've heard people suggest Amarillo and Citra being included. The kiwi hops I'm not too familiar with, never actually used, so I can't really speak to that, but yeah, I'm just a little bit disappointed. But that's not to say it's not a good beer. I definitely wouldn't say that. So yeah, there's not much else I can say about that. Sorry, really nice, good drinking beer. Even with that amount of age on it, it's still quite impressive. That nice bitterness is, classic IPA makes you keep on going back for more, drying. It's quite easily drinkable. At 6%, it can get a bit dangerous. But I would definitely suggest going out and checking it out, and if you can, they've got a little date stamp there. Check that out and try and get the freshest cans you can, because it does make a big difference. And the best way to experience it is with only a couple of weeks on it, and it will make a big difference. Even though with my home brewing, if you dry hop something, you really want to be having that within like a month, or you'll notice there's a big difference in the amount of hop aroma and flavors and things. So fresh is best, remember, with IPAs, and don't feel weird about checking the cans for dates. A lot of places put it on the bottom, so if you ever see guys in the bottle shop looking at bottoms of cans and things like that, that's what they're after, and it's nothing to be ashamed of. It probably just shows the guy at the bottler that you know what you're looking for. So a little bit of a lackluster one, unfortunately. It's still one of my favourite beers. I'd still rate it. Please check it out and grab fresh. And see you guys next time.